Guess what, ladies and gentlemen? I'm pretty sure we're live. 4:00 p.m. Canoga Park, California, September 19th, 2024. Coming at you live from the 2LaneLIVE headquarters. And this episode is brought to you by EagleRider Motorcycle Rentals and Tours. Don't forget to check out 2LaneLIVE.com under the EagleRider tab to see how you can book a trip, save some money, and have a good time while you're at it. And while you're at it, check out the other tabs. Cool stuff. Boys, what is going on today? Who do we have? What are we talking about?
Well, in fact, you mentioned EagleRider.
I did.
My brother and his buddy Jared and my brother-in-law, Kirk, are trying to go on a trip across the loneliest highway starting this Friday, and they are renting 2 EagleRiders to do so.
Do they know what they're in for?
They do not.
But if you don't go, you won't know.
That's true.
But they may end up switching it because you got a Heritage instead of the Road Glide, and so they may end up going Southern Utah loop.
I'll tell you what, if I wasn't carrying all the camera stuff, I think I would rent a Heritage.
Would you try that?
I would. I want to.
Well, what are you going to do the day that we might end up on choppers for a journey?
I'm going to have a camera. I'm going to have a camera around my neck. I'm going to have a half shell, and I'm going to bring some chargers and batteries.
What about that half shell? He's going to not be able to talk to us.
No, we can't have a half shell.
I think we're all going to get those Bell helmets that have the little teeny.
But are we just trying to be in vogue with the chopper thing? Like it's a scene right now? Like
no, we want to experience the travel of the.
I've already experienced it. You don't want to ride that thing.
Not that. I'm talking about some nice ones.
You don't want to ride that thing.
Yeah.
So if you haven't seen our video from yesterday, go see it. It's Sturgis 16A.
That was
good stuff. I mean, get over there, watch it, tell your friends to subscribe, watch our videos because they're cool, you know?
Well, I have to tell you, we did hit it at the right time.
I have to tell you that we're getting called out right now by Becky. Pussy.
There she is.
Becky, we're going to get some choppers.
Lance and I do not follow Galen's
and we're going to go to Kern.
Stuff.
We're going to go to Kern.
JK. Just kidding.
So it's gonna happen.
We're gonna go to Kern.
We're gonna do it.
Well, we've got a great returning guest. I mean, we had this young lady on probably a year and a half ago, right?
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah, it was even before the build for Bell or for the Brawl. Born Free.
Born Free.
So it was before that, and that was a year ago. But if we get her on the screen here real quick, I just want to personally thank Rae. She's an author. She's a stunt rider. She's a metal artist. She's a badass mom. She's just got an incredible story. And I just want to thank you personally because we have directed so many people to listen to your story that you gave to us to put out there on the airwaves. Because the last 45 minutes of that discussion was really what I consider something that if people are listening to that, they're going to find a way off that ledge. And to hear that someone has done that themselves and your compelling story and the type of energy that you carry with you today, even though it's always still a struggle, I know. But personally, you trusted in our channel to talk about your story. And I know your story through our channel has helped so many people. And I know by you continuing to tell your story, you're helping people on the daily. So thank you. And thanks for joining us again. And you look beautiful and it's great to see you.
Well, I want to give you a big hug right now. And when everything he just said, it's funny. I got a cup of coffee here and on the cup of coffee, it says radiate positive energy. And you kind of are like an energy ball. I mean, I just told you before we were on that I think if my cell phone was sitting next to you, it would charge without a cord.
You guys are gonna make me cry.
We love you.
We have been crying a lot. I love you guys too. Y'all are like the dads I always wanted, you know.
Well, we are.
Yes.
Well, it's just, isn't it great? This motorcycle community's actually brought us together and we're friends and we're family. And I mean, 4 years ago, we didn't really know who you were and you didn't know who we were. And it's just, I love that we can do this through the community that we're together.
For sure. I've met so many incredible people through just riding motorcycles that are family now. And I don't really have a family, so I think God, the universe, whatever it is kind of handpicked people to be my family, and a lot of the motorcycle community has been that for me. So y'all included, and I'm just honored to be here and be able to be alive and be able to do this.
Well, and a lot has happened since. I mean, we've seen you at a couple Harley shoots. We saw you at Born Free. We've kind of seen you around over the last year or so, but a lot's gone on this year. I mean, you moved, like you've got this movie that's out there. Like, tell us a little bit about the move.
So Tennessee, I'm in Tennessee now. I'm fresh here. I just got here like the end of May, and it's pretty funny because like 2 weeks into living here, I had to basically get this property like aligned as if I've been living here for years, because Prism was coming to film, and I kind of kept it on the hush hush because I wanted Prism to be the one that said, "Hey, I live here in Nashville, Tennessee," type
Right.
thing. But I love it. Like, I think I manifested this house. I've been talking about living in a place like this, probably my whole life, really. And I think I put in the work and the love and the energy, and I found it. And like now I'm going to be rooted here,
Well, your old house, you used to have like plants and stuff.
Oh, I still have all those.
Harleys and all that,
I still have all of those.
You got it?
Hell yeah. I literally rented a U-Haul just to haul every single plant I have. So I had a whole big box truck U-Haul full of all of my plants. I did give some of my cactus away to like one of my favorite people on the planet, and I know that he'll take really good care of them. Nate, I know you're watching this, so hi Nate. But he's taking care of my cactus, but I do still have stuff kind of everywhere. I still have 2 vehicles still in Texas that I'm trying to get up here. I'm hoping to grab one of those when I go to Texas next week, because I'll be in Austin next week. But doing a sign for Miranda Lambert. I'm taking a sign for Miranda Lambert to Austin. But
nice.
grabbing one of those. I do have a sea container that's 20-footer that's still sitting in Mississippi, that it's been kind of a pain in the ass trying to find a truck driver to move it to me. And it's only 4 hours away. So like I'm about to just get a trailer and a truck and do it myself.
So if there's any truck drivers out there listening, you can go to Rae Ripple's Instagram and message her.
Message me.
So you said you're taking a sign to her?
Yeah, don't let that go untouched. Miranda Lambert.
Yeah, because you're an artist, but you're also making a sign. So if you have an idea or someone comes to you with an idea, you're going to make something happen, whether it's your field or not.
So I've actually been doing business signs for quite some time. I'm like a chameleon, I kind of just do everything. And I never say no to anything, even if I don't know how to do it, like, because it's just another avenue, another seed that's going to get planted, that's going to lead to a tree one day. And this is kind of like one of those things. Like, I didn't get into business signs until COVID. When COVID hit, I just left the fire department. I was just going full time as an artist, as like a professional artist. And then I just got my CNC machine from Fast Cut CNC. And so like at the time when the world closed down, I was like, shit, nobody's going to want to buy art or sculptures. And so I kind of in this sense of reinvented myself and started doing business signs using my art background to develop and design these for clients. And it's lingered. It's been around for quite some time. And so my girls at Junk Gypsy contacted me. They are redoing, or they're doing Miranda Lambert's studio, like recording studio, or it's like a branch off of Big Loud recording studio from Nashville in Texas. And she'll be running it in Austin, and they needed a business sign. So of course,
You're the one.
yeah, they called me. And so I'm super excited to be a part of that project, which is going to be awesome. So there's going to be a lot of really cool people sitting in front of this sign. So I'm excited.
Are you going to install that sign, or is it going to be a drop off?
So it's more going to be a drop off because I do have to get right back because I do have another project I'm about to start working on, which I signed an NDA for, so I can't talk about that one. But I can talk about Fab Tech, which is where the Mustang is going. So if anybody's been watching my socials, I've been cutting up a 72 Mach 1. So I'm diving right back into that whenever I get back. So I don't have time to play as much as I would love to. I gotta get back home.
Well, you can't see the comments on the side, but we've got Randy from France that's tuned in.
I love
Pretty
Paris.
crazy, worldwide.
Paris.
Let's talk a little bit about. We didn't really hit some of the topics last time, but talk a little bit about your current book and then what you're authoring now that should be coming out.
Oh, when
Can
I
you?
grow up. Yeah. Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
When I grow up is it's like my baby, you know, because the kids and like the future and this next generation is, you know, me. It means a lot to me. It's very important to me to set an example for those girls and for those kids. And so when I grow up was inspired by a couple of little girls that I've come across in my career. One of them named Olivia, who had made me a flower out of metal. She welded in her dad's garage. And then another little girl at this restaurant in my hometown in Big Spring called Estella's. And I would ride my motorcycle there every Sunday, have biscuits and gravy, talk to this sweet girl behind the counter. And one day she was watching Frozen. And I was kind of like, hey, what you doing? What are you watching? You know, picking at her. And like after a brief, like small conversation between us and her sister, she goes, I didn't really kind of know who she was, but I had already known the staff of this restaurant for quite some time because I actually worked for the tow truck company right next door, driving a tow truck. And so I was in there a lot with that. And so she like piped up after we were done talking about Frozen. And she said, you don't know who I am. And I'm very shy, but I'm a really big fan of yours. And she was like 9, I think at the time. And I was like, wait. You know who I am? And she was like, yeah, I live down the street from you. And I was like, wait, you live down the street from me? And she was like, yeah, I've been watching you build sculptures in your driveway for like 4 or 5 years. And it didn't really hit me how many littles were paying attention to everything that I was doing. And so like at that point, like I really just started cleaning up my act and my mouth, and because I cuss like a sailor and, you know, things like that, like just really paying attention. And so because of those girls and like what the future is going to look like for women in trades, I had to create this book about a little girl that wants to be a welder when she grows up. And it's a family affair. So like my kids are very involved in it. And I put a lot of time and effort into this of like doing childlike sketching so that way kids can color in it. So not only is it a story that they can read, but it's an actual book that they can't get in trouble for coloring in because, you know, kids love to color in their books. And so why not give them a canvas on top of something that allows them to kind of close that dream gap to be whoever they want to be when they grow up, you know?
So they can find a link on your Instagram page, right?
Yep. It's like $10 for the book. You can get it on Amazon.
They can get it on Amazon too. Yeah, right?
Yep. Amazon, Target, Walmart, all of the bookstores. I think you can even get it overseas too. So if you're looking overseas, you can get it over there too. So,
well, I mean, I just kind of read a precursor about it, and it talked about a young girl walking into a library, seeing a sculpture, and that started spurring on the interest. So very cool. And our fans love good stuff like that. So, especially, you know, we've got a lot of fans that have young kids, and it's a great inspirational book for the young kids to learn and read.
And have you noticed, I don't know if you've noticed, just even in the motorcycle community, the daughters of builders and like the daughters of these moms that just ride and stuff are like actively just getting into motorcycles, and motorcycles has a fabrication side to it. And, you know, people that do build bikes weld and fabricate and metal shape and things like that. So it kind of goes all in, we're all in the same boat, we're all different layers just rowing together, you know. So it kind of falls into trades and motorcycles, which is really cool to see that expanding even for females in the motorcycle industry.
What did Nathan just say?
I didn't see what Nathan said.
He said she inspired me to continue my passion. I thank her for being my friend.
Nathan, I love you. So this kid, I've known him, oh gosh, Nathan, I think I've known you since you were like 13 or 14 years old. He actually builds bikes too. Like he builds bicycles and he turns them into choppers. He like cuts them up and like re-welds them and fashions them back together. And now I have ridden some of these bikes. A couple of them have been pretty scary, and I'm not really scared on bikes. But he's very talented, a genius as a kid. I tell him that all the time. His brain works differently than others. See, Nathan, he said yes.
And Becky's also saying you rule. So
Yes.
there you go.
Becky, oh my God, I'm Becky's #1 fan. I listen. Also, if you come and you want to talk to me about Becky, I'm going to talk about Becky. I will do everything I can to bring up Becky's name. So please, I love you, Becky. I'm your #1 fan. Please send me your stuff.
Becky is awesome, and she sat right here and had a great time, and we had a great time with her. Learned a lot from her, and you know, hey,
let's talk about her for a minute.
Becky?
Yes, please. I love Becky. Let's talk about her. Let's talk about all the cool she does and her cool clothes and all
she's very cool. She's unfiltered. We love that about her. She'll just tell you how it is.
Very feral as a woman, and I love feral women, you know.
I'm your #1 fan.
I see. I love you, Becky. I do. Like, and her stickers are my favorite. So like anytime I'm like, I come across something that like could be like a cool offensive sticker, I'm just like, make me this sticker. Because I have her I have some of her like offensive, I don't know if I can say them on this
you can say
that one of them that says my other ride is your dad's face or whatever it is, like I have that one on my road glide.
She gave me a bell, you know, one of the gremlin bells, and it's a penis.
Yes.
She gave me a bell, and it's on my bike right now. And it's something similar to I'm on your dad's face.
Yeah, I love what she's doing. And I love how like unapologetically she is herself. And which is what we need. We need that in the industry, especially like women with a backbone. Like, because most the shit that she gets talked to on the internet, and she's just like, I love that. Look, I also love being a part of your close friends group, you know, the little green tabs. So please keep, you know, sending me those. Yeah, I love what she's doing, and she like, and her like her one of a kind and her like clothing line and what she's doing, especially like I love clothes. And so of course, like clothes in the industry and bringing clothes that like women and unisex people can wear, everybody can wear it. I love it. I absolutely love it.
Even if you look at her Axel's Corner that she did at Born Free, and just the gathering of people, the gathering of people, and all different walks of life. It's just
all different kinds of motorcycles too, which I love.
Yep.
She's not just like strictly about like, oh, your shit has to be top notch, whatever. Like it could be not saying that anybody's motorcycle is ugly or anything in any way, shape, or form, but every single motorcycle is a piece of art. It is a reflection of us and our character and who we are and all of that kind of stuff. And so like, I love how even like I was talking to Mariah, and she's a part of the Moto Maidens one time about her being a part of Axel's Hideout. And she was like, I don't know why my piece of crap bike has to be in it, but it's because it's cool and it's it's you. And I love that she sees that. And I love that she's bringing this like empowerment to women and just riding motorcycles. It doesn't necessarily have to be something that Beyonce sits on, which she has one, but it can be any kind of motorcycle. We're all in this boat rowing together, just different layers, have different wants, needs, and likes. And so I love the art of the motorcycle and what she brings to it. So,
And we don't mind that she's from Canada either.
I love that she's from Canada. I love that she's from Canada. What's going on, eh? I love the A.
Okay.
Don't you know?
Well,
Yeah, don't you
it's
know?
another one of those things where we got to have her in studio here, and we laughed and we joked and we had a good time, and it was a great conversation. And now we consider her family and friend,
But she
just
did.
as we do with you.
She did call us pussies a few minutes
I
ago.
saw that.
She
That's
did.
okay.
But in her defense, she is feral. So would you
Yeah.
expect less?
We dig it. I mean, that the one thing since we started this channel, we've met a lot of great guys. We've seen a lot of cool things happen. But the women that we've had on the show, you, Becky, Letitia, I mean, on and on, you guys all have this energy to create and be involved in this industry. And it's really kind of cool.
She said sorry. I love it. Letitia too. Like I love what she does. I love her style. She's beautiful, like drop dead gorgeous. Becky, you are too. Like it's incredible that like we just all can be one and hold together. I love it.
Yeah. I mean, Letitia does some crazy things. I'm like, how did, like, you were going to tile your floor and you did it yourself. I saw you. I mean, how'd you learn it? She goes, the internet.
YouTube.
So it's like, yeah,
YouTube.
there it is.
Literally YouTube. That's how I've survived everything that I've done in my life. It's just how to do this on YouTube. Sometimes the videos aren't always accurate, but you know,
Right.
it's an alternator on a 2012 Camry because somebody posted, you know, a video of how to replace an alternator on a 2012 Camry, which is 3 bolts and you keep the belt in the same and then you add a new battery. It's super easy. So I think women get intimidated on like that it really is that easy to work on these things. You know, you don't necessarily, no offense to men, but you don't really necessarily need somebody all the time to fix the small things. Just do some research, you know.
That's very offensive.
Well, I like the way she said it. She didn't say you don't need a man. She said you don't need someone always. I mean, I like the way
she's being,
you know,
politically Christian. She doesn't need a damn man.
Well,
right.
I mean, we still need people and we still need men for certain things. Like, I mean, because there are moments too, like where like my hands don't want to work or I really need help picking this up. And, you know, my son too, like he's getting bigger. He's almost 16. And I was unloading motorcycles when we first moved here. Which the drive hauling 4 motorcycles, I will never do that again on an open like car hauler trailer. It was absolutely absurd. The road glide actually fell on the trailer, and thank God this is one of those moments where you still need a man, because thank God Chloe's fiance was with us, because if not, I would have had to strap the road glide down on the trailer and then find a gas station and have somebody help me pick it up, because I'm 115 pounds of nothing. I can't pick that up by myself if it falls. I don't care who has anything to say about, ooh, I can't pick up that motorcycle. It's heavy. It's so
it is heavy.
Just put your back into it, Rae. Come on.
I do. But you know, it's moments like that. We still need people. And so there's no shame in still needing somebody.
So that was the road glide that you built?
Hell yeah.
Born Free?
The strap snapped, so it wasn't anything I did. The strap just snapped. It literally where the seam where it was stitched, it just ripped, and the whole thing just went bloop like that. It caught on the other side, so it didn't hit or nothing bad happened because it caught the straps on the other side. And I was a tow truck driver, so I just overstrapped the shit out of everything, and so it caught that other strap. But pulled over. Ryan got out. I helped pick it up, re-strapped it down. I was a little like, oh shit, we like slowed down 15 more miles an hour, but we got it.
Well, heck, there's a reason why we have men, we have women. I mean, everything was connected, and we all need each other.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. For sure.
Let's, Lance and I sat down today and we took some time to watch your short. Can we jump into that a little bit and talk about, well, before we do that, are you able to talk about the next book you might have coming out and when?
Yeah. So, I don't know exactly when it's going to come out yet because I'm still working on putting everything in its place because it's got so many different layers. And so I've been struggling, like, kind of putting things into what goes into what category. So once I get that initially figured out, then I'll have a manuscript sent to my publisher, and then we can start working on editing and getting it out, which hopefully will be done by the end of the year, shooting into releasing and publishing into early next year. But it's a different kind of book than the children's book. So this one is going to be called The Intrusive Thoughts of an Influencer, and it's my poetry memoir. So basically it's a diary entry book of my poetry that I've been writing for, the last 10, 15 years. And it's not like the cover is going to give this appearance of like looking from the outside in. We only see things on social media as peaches and cream. You see my life and you see all these great things that I'm doing on social media, but you don't really see what happens behind closed doors and how I really feel and how very, very human. I hate the word influencer, but influencers are.
So do we.
Yeah, I hate that word because I don't really feel like I'm in that I'm doing something, I'm not really
Right.
just like selling products, and so I want people to see that, like, when you see me, talk to me, or see me on the internet, like I'm still feeling and breathing and moving and living just like everybody else is. Like, I still have struggles. I still have days I can't get out of bed. I still have all of these things. I still have all these thoughts that are bouncing around in my brain. And so, like, it's healthy to put that on paper, but putting that on paper and giving it to the world to see, I hope that you see that, like, I'm no different than you. I'm no different.
We're
Than
human.
anybody watching this. Yeah, we're all human. We all bleed red. And this is a testament to that, like, to how very real and human we really are outside of,
Well, but we're human, but I think this goes back to that, opening that I tried to give you as well. Like, we're all vulnerable, but not everyone is willing to talk about their vulnerabilities. And
right.
What you've gone throughout your life, you've decided at some point it was time for you to share your life. And I believe probably to impact others in a meaningful way, showing that you can do it so others can do it. Right.
Well, and
where you started from too, it's going to go away. And I've been put Becky's comment back up there about the tow truck. I wanted you to read that.
I have stories, girl. I have stories. I will tell you, like some including stories of people calling, needing their tire changed, thinking that they were talking to a dispatch lady or an office lady, and I'm the one that shows up, and then all of a sudden they know how to change their tire. You know what I mean? Like that kind of thing. So there's stories, girl, for days.
All right, back to it.
So, but basically, there's this stigma that I think we all carry, that like we have to be strong all the time, and we have to like hold these things in all the time, and we're not allowed to be vulnerable or show emotion or whatever. But I think that people are the most beautiful when they're the most vulnerable, you know, and how brave it is. It's not strong holding these things in, but how brave and strong it is to be able to talk about those things. But you know, we were talking about like putting on the magic glasses, like when, and I talk about this a lot, about like when you're chosen to put on these magic glasses, like you can't take them off, and you're kind of forced to see the world in this view, in this light. And now you have to show others what this looks like, because some people just can't see things like that. And so I think if we had more openness and more realness and more rawness, then we would probably be losing a lot less people on this planet. You know what I mean? There'd probably be a lot less violence and a lot more love and a lot more happiness, and, you know, less of trying to find love and happiness and peace as a destination versus it just being a, you know, primary emotion. And I think that opening up to that is gonna allow me opening and staying open and talking about these things will hopefully allow other people to come out and just be vulnerable and be okay with big emotions and feeling them, and giving those to the world too, if that makes sense.
Well, I was going to say, Lance and I spent a little time watching the short today, and I don't remember the director producer's last name, but Michael, I think, was his first name.
Michael McCourt.
Yeah, what a spectacular job. I mean, they caught you in so many different ways, and the way they filmed that, we were commenting, we were immersed in it, and you weren't acting, you were just being you, and I think they did such a great job in capturing you. And talk a little bit about the film and what it meant to you and what it means and how people can find it.
Well, the film, so there was a lot of things that partaked in the film that actually I didn't even want to talk about, or it wasn't like that they pushed or like any of that kind of stuff. It was just like one of those things that like some of that stuff I just was still kind of holding on to, and didn't really like, you know, it's personal, you know, type thing. And so when they came, there was like a lot of things that just happened that were very right of it's time. Like it's time to talk about this. It's time to let it go, because the only way to let it go is to get it out, you know? And it's kind of like when you eat something and your stomach's upset and you're just like, man, I just got to throw up. If I throw up, I'll feel a lot better. Like, even though it's very painful to throw up, but after you're done, you feel so much better. And that was kind of like what it felt like, but like in the best way possible. And, but also too, like afterwards, it lingered for a while. And I realized that I still needed help, and I still had a lot of healing I had to do. And I still had like a lot of, work to do. And so it really even helped me like with those things that I was carrying of just responsibility of stuff that people had done to me. And so like, but also too, my kids are involved in this, and I don't want nobody to see them. You know what I mean? I don't want nobody to touch them. They're mine. And I try for the whole duration of their life, or just my stay on the internet, of people watching me, like holding them close and not letting the world see who they are, has been something that they're mine. I don't want to share them. But like this time it was important to kind of show the world who they were too, and like what their personalities are. And they also learned a lot about me too, because when we were filming, we were talking about a lot of things. We were interviewing as I was doing stuff. And like, you know, so Chloe, she really learned a lot about me. Cash really learned a lot about me. I really learned a lot about them, and just being open in a space where we can all kind of fall into this together, you know, because we're doing this together. So, and plus the guys, oh my gosh, the guys that filmed it, every single one of them, I swear, saint, heaven sent on earth, like angel, because like the way that they took care of me and my little family while we were filming this, like, Rae, are you okay? Do you feel good? Like, is there something that do we need to stop? Like things like that. They were very, very, very comforting and like healing in itself too, of just giving me a space to be able to let this go freely with no judgment and no nothing. So like kudos to all you guys. I love you guys so much, and they know that too. I tell them every day. I'm just like, oh, I love you guys so much. That's it. Just want to tell you I love you. That's all. So
Well, I know that Galen and I enjoyed the part in that short of seeing your children, because it gave you another dimension, another side. So me personally, I like seeing that. I learned from that.
yeah, and nobody really knows the kids, and their lives, but also they're older now. And when they were younger, like it was really important for me to protect them because of course, like what I went through as a child. And so they're older now, so they like can kind of handle themselves a little bit more. And so like it was time, but there's like a certain song in there that we sing as a family that was from a show on Nickelodeon called Wonder Pets, and it's a teamwork song, and that song is very, very important to our family. And the fact that it made the film by complete just natural of me and Chloe just sitting in this truck and just like talking about how vastly different our life is, even from when they were just little, because it's never really been easy for us three. Like I've really struggled, and I've been a single mom pretty much my whole life, and I've been a mom longer than I've been alive, like not a mom. And so like they like being able to see those natural things that we just do in private of our own home, and give those to the world. Like it sets a tone for like relationships and, parents and their kids' relationships and stuff. And so they're my best friends. I love them dearly. Like they keep me alive,
Well, it was great that you could showcase them a little bit, and I loved when you talked about what both of them did for you, and how that meant something to you, and as simple as pulling a fire alarm,
Yeah.
Yeah, I was very mad. I'm not gonna lie, when that happened, I was very, very, very upset with him. But I don't think I was upset with him because he was in trouble. I think I was more upset with the situation because I couldn't go through with the plan. And I realized that of course later, and I'm open with the kids now. They know that part of my life very well now, but also we work really close together to like, we don't ever want to feel those things again, or feel alone again, or feel isolated again. And so they started doing a better job too of just like, Mom, we see you, you're present, we love you, and we're here to help too. Like Cash, when I think I was trying to tell you the story of like when we first moved here and we were unloading motorcycles, and he was so tired because we had been moving and like unloading, moving and unloading. He was so tired, and I was like, honey, I'll get this. Just go inside, go get some sleep, go take a shower, go get some sleep. And I was like, I can do it. And he goes, no, Mom, I can help you. And I was like, no, I can do it. Like, go inside. You're just a kid. Like, you're just a kid. Go inside. I have this. And he goes, but you're just one woman, Mom. You really need help. Let me help you. And it's a tone that we set with each other, and that we have always had this bond since they were little, of just like, this is our family, it's ride or die. You're tired, I'm tired, we do this together. And it was the same way with the film. They knew even after that this film was going to be a lot, and it was probably going to take a toll on me. So I really needed their love and support even after, which isn't necessarily, I'm not saying it's their responsibility to give me that, but it's just, when you love someone and you care for somebody, it's okay to need somebody, like what we were talking about.
Yes.
It's okay to need somebody. So
Well, and you just said it a few minutes ago. I mean, that you look back inside and said, I still need some help. Like, that it drew those kind of memories back up again, and then it wears on you. And so you realized, at least you can realize that you do need the help. And I liked his tone of saying, hey, you're one woman and you need some help. That's
Yeah,
a good young man.
Yes.
He is. They're great kids. They really are. They're angels too. And I think, that's kind of like why I came to Tennessee, like, because, all of my memories, everything is held in Texas. And although I'll always be a Texas girl, like, I really needed a shift in energy, a shift in scenery, and a shift of, okay, I'm leaving this right here, and I'm going to finally move on with my life. And so that's, what I did. And every single day that I'm here, even like since the film, every single day has been like, okay, we still have work to do. We still have work to do. And then coming to Tennessee, it's just been like, for once, like, I'm like, oh, like, I can breathe a little bit better, and like I sleep a little bit better, and like I'm eating better and like taking better care of myself, but also like I'm not in the same environment. You can't thrive in the same environment that, has done all these things to you. And so like being here has really been a good turning point, and like letting that go finally, if that makes
Yeah.
sense.
Well,
So.
I think we should move out there.
Right. Yeah.
Come on, I got the room. I have lots of space.
I mean, Jeff Bolt, V2N Visionary, moved out there.
Yeah.
It's
Rusty
maybe the place.
Butcher is out here now too.
That's right.
Yeah.
She said she's only one town away from Cave City.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah, I am. I'm in Middle Tennessee, so I'm Nashville, but like I'm in the mountains.
We've been to Nashville.
It's beautiful. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
but one town from Cave City's in Kentucky.
But she said you told me you were close to where
Yeah, oh yeah.
Letitia is.
It's so Nashville. I'm like,
You're right
I'm
there.
not a city girl. I like the country, so I'm in the country now.
If you get a chance,
Broadway.
ride that motorcycle of yours down to Tellico Plains.
Oh yeah.
So, I know, and I want to do the Tail of the Dragon too. Is like
Yeah.
right too.
But the Cherahalla Skyway, I always get it wrong, but Skyway is even better than the Dragon,
Is
in
it?
my opinion.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
In my opinion
Right.
too.
Because it's a lot longer too. And the Dragon's great, but it's only like 12 miles. 10
Oh
miles.
yeah, that's right. I did find out that there's a guy that sits at the end of the Tail of the Dragon. So if anybody's listening to this and they do go ride the Tail of the Dragon, there's a guy that sits down there and he takes pictures of every single person that rides the Tail of the Dragon, and you can buy that photo online.
We have those photos.
Yep.
Oh, see, that is like, so the motorcycle community is so incredible. It's just like this one person sits down there to take photos for people that ride this road that don't have an opportunity to have photos. That's incredible. So I don't know who that is, but whoever you are, shout out.
Yeah.
So you don't have to answer this question. But I'm a little curious at what point did you decide, and what made you decide to share your story? Because not everyone has the strength to do that. Was there a turning point where you're just like, I've got to tell people? What kind of inspired you to? You're not an influencer. We think we're ambassadors. You're not an influencer. You're an ambassador of mental health, in my opinion. And so I'm wondering what triggered that to allow you to be able to maybe say, hey, I'm going to share this because I can help someone.
I don't think it was ever really about sharing things to help somebody. Like at first, I think it was more of like, this shit gets heavy. Like it gets heavy when you carry it for as long as you carry it. And people don't understand that. And people don't really understand what it takes when you carry all this stuff what it takes to just wake up in the morning and pour a cup of coffee and go on about your day and stuff. And so, and you carry this load with you. But I think the best way to put it is it's like a storm, and I don't want my storm to get other people wet, if that makes sense. And so, like, if I don't set this stuff down somewhere, then everybody around me is going to be soaked all the time, you know? And so it wasn't because I didn't start because I wanted to help people or inspire or any of the words that people tell me I am, because how do you feel inspiring when, you know, most of the days that I wake up, I don't feel inspired. I don't feel inspiring. Right. I don't feel those things. And so, like, it was never about that. It was just about, like, okay, I got to start setting this stuff down somewhere, because if not, I'm going to it's going to kill me. It's going to kill me if I don't. And so I just started setting things down. And as I would set things down, like, people would just sit with me and tell me their story. And then they would say, you know, I'm glad that you set this down here, because now I can set my stuff down here. And then it just kind of started in this, like, this chain reaction of, you know, like, I set this down, you set this down too. I set this down, you set this down too. And as I got lighter, I realized that, like, I didn't realize how, I'm trying to find the words, but I didn't realize how many people are like me and that don't speak up, and they don't talk about it, and they don't feel these things, and they don't, you know. And so, like, in a sense, like, it's kind of, you know, you see a smoker smoking a cigarette. What does another smoker do? It's the power of suggestion. They pick up the cigarette and they start smoking too. And so it's like a power of suggestion of just, like, look, if I can leave this here, you can leave this here, and then we can just leave it forever. But we're still going to remember it. We're still going to talk about it. We're still going to, you know, it'll still be in our memories, but we don't have to carry it anymore. We can forgive and move on. Not forget. I'm not telling anybody to forget, because you don't forget, but you can at least move on from it. And so, it never really started out like that. It was more just, fuck, I'm just tired of carrying this. I'm tired of carrying the responsibility of whatever other people have done. And it's not my fault. And I think a lot of people have this idea that, like, when bad shit happens to you, like, it's your fault, and it's not. And so it helps me, you know, continue to keep being better every single day, continue to keep my storm clouds away, so that way it doesn't get everybody wet, you know. And if I can do that, and if I can do it, then literally anybody can do it. And so that's kind of how I look at it, is like, look, if I can do it, you can do it too. And so let's set it down together. And so it's not, like I said, it's never me,
I really like that. Let's set it down
together, you know, like, it's not about me. And you know, we're all living for the first time, you know, like, we don't know nothing about anything. We don't know what's right. We don't know what's wrong, and how we carry things or show emotions or, you know, feel these things. And so, like, but if you can set it down and talk about it, and it makes you feel better, and you just get lighter and lighter the more and more you talk about it. But also too, those talking about it brings up other things too, you know, that you don't realize, that things you forgot. And when your mind forgets, your body remembers. And so these things come up in all different ways. And the more and more you talk about it, and the more and more you allow yourself to be vulnerable in these situations, the better and better you feel, and the lighter you'll breathe. And, you know, you get that gap in between those days of the bad days and the good days. The good and the good get bigger, and the bad get smaller, which is the whole goal, you know. Is we're just human trying to just live, you know.
Well, we appreciate that you have taken on and are sharing, because we know that it'll help people. And that's really, at the end of the day, it's not about any one of us. It's about all of us, and it's about helping each other. And there's not enough of that in this world today.
Yeah.
And so we appreciate that you're doing this. And let's put a little bit of a smile and a little lighter topic on this thing. So also in the movie, or in the short, you talked about that wonderful wind therapy and getting on the bike, and talk about the bike that you ride, and what that really means, because we immediately got that. We're both looking at each other like, wow, that's so true. Like, you can just get out and get away from everything on those motorcycles, right? It's just crazy.
Yeah, and I hate to say this because it sounds terrible, but I started writing because I really honestly had a death wish. Like, I didn't start writing because, like, I was just like, oh, I'm gonna look so cool on this motorcycle. Like, that was not the goal. That was not how I saw it at all. It was just like, you don't have the guts to do things yourself sometimes, and so you just tend to be reckless and dangerous in other areas of your life, and that's kind of how that started. But it didn't stay that way. Like, it's funny how, and I hate to say this, and it's so true, but it's funny how you want to die until you get on something that could kill you, and you really don't want to die anymore. And so
I like that.
motorcycles really did that for me. Like, they really put a head on my shoulders because, like, a lot of things live up here. And when I'm just sitting, I'm working, or, I'm, on the computer, I'm scrolling or whatever, like, those thoughts are just always there. But then I ride a bike, you can't think about anything else. Like, you can't. Like, you really have to pay attention to what you're doing. You really have to pay attention to the people that are around you, like, all of that kind of stuff. So, like, those thoughts realistically kind of just disappear because you really got to pay attention, to this and this machine underneath you. And so it kind of gave me a space that I thought I could be feral and dangerous and reckless, and it turned into, fuck, I feel too much today. I just need to go get on my bike and see where I end up, and that's like that's better than therapy, and it's cheaper too. You put $3.50 in your gas tank, and you find yourself in different places, different areas, more stories, like the chopper I bought it from a dear friend, and it's been kind of a pain in the ass since I got it, not because of what he's done, but it's just been kind of a pain in the ass, and every time I ride it, it breaks down, something comes off of it, like, there's a bunch of different things, but it's like, when you're in that headspace, you get on that bike and it takes you somewhere, and it either breaks down or something flies off, or, like, or you break down and people pass you that you thought would always stop and help you. Like, when you get yourself into those situations, it really puts you into perspective of, like, it's just you, it's just you, this bike against the world. And so allow yourself to just be free in that moment. So motorcycles have really changed my life and my way of thinking, and but also, like, it kind of makes the sorrow go away, and so I love bikes, I love motorcycles, and I love that my son's into them, and he does the same. It's the same thing for him. And when he gets upset or he's angry or having a teenage boy moment, he goes and jumps on the bike, and he comes back and he's okay, I feel better now, so I love that motorcycles do that for us.
So you're an artist, you're creative, you love to create things and make things. By chance, do you play any instruments?
I sing.
Oh,
Yeah, I actually sing. Not a lot of people know that, but my first love has always been music and dancing. I actually like I wanted to be some sort of dancer or like singer. I wanted to be Britney Spears without the drama, maybe with the drama. I have the same mental health problems in those, but like I wanted to be on stage. That's what I always wanted to do as a little girl, was to sing and dance. And so I don't play any instruments, but I do.
Give us a little song.
No, I actually, you know,
Come on.
listen, you know what's funny is I actually have stage fright, which is surprising. I know it's very surprising, but
you want to be on stage.
I am on stage all the time, which is kind
And
of
you're in
funny.
movies, and
Yeah, I speak to kids all over the country on a stage, and there'll be, you know, 1,000 kids out there, and I like not a single thing. But if they're like, "Hey, can you sing Shallow by Lady Gaga?" and I'm just like, nope. Nothing comes out. So I'm a closet shower singer, and my kids get to hear me sing. And every so often I'll hide in a bathroom in an airport and I'll sing something and post it on my Instagram story. But that's not very often. So
all right, well, turn the chair around and pretend you're in the shower.
no, then I'll get a record
deal,
and I'll have like a whole nother like avenue of things I gotta do. Everything I do.
We're gonna turn you on to the record business.
Well, I am going to Miranda Lambert's studio in Texas, so maybe I'll drop some tunes there, you know.
I mean, our wives actually recorded a song.
They did.
They were in Hawaii.
How long ago was that?
40, 30 years ago.
Jeez,
40 years ago.
I wish we had the tape, because I think it was actually
tape.
good.
Oh, you gotta have it somewhere, and you have to play.
I know Teresa has it.
Really?
Yeah.
That would be great. The 2-Lane Wives. Sing it.
And I'm a pretty proficient singer myself. So if you want to do a duet or something at some point, I'm with you.
Perfect. Yeah, I actually like I was pretty heavy into singing for a little while, but like of course I have always been a young mom and young kids, and you know that, and I think God just had other plans for my life. I don't think I was supposed to be on stage for that reason. I think I'm supposed to be on stage for this reason. And so I sing for those who love me and that are here and get to listen to me in the shower.
We love you.
Don't ever lose don't forget this, that being a mom is probably one of the greatest things on earth.
Oh,
so being a mom is moms are awesome. I love my mom.
Being
you
a
love
mom.
your mom.
I don't think it's probably it's the thing.
The world without mothers would be terrible.
I can attribute this. I have two really good kids. Intelligent, respectful, courteous, and I can attribute 90% of that, 99% of that to my wife, because she took the time to read to them when they were young. She took the time we were fortunate that she could stay home. So she took the time to go to their classes and learn what was going on in the schools. It was, and whether you can do that or not, but moms are so important in children's lives. And I can see both just in your two kids, the song that you and your daughter were singing together, and the way you draped your son in your coat in what appeared to be kind of a cold field. You got a lot to be proud of there with those two kids.
And you learn that also, that you have your children, and even if you're the greatest dad in the world, and there's a lot of great dads in this world, sometimes when the shit hits the fan, I don't care if it's a son or a daughter, they'll go to mom, because mom has what they need.
You know, and just recently I've kind of like really come to appreciate the hey mom phone calls, you know. Like before, it's just like, oh my God, these kids can't do anything for themselves. Like, you know, it used to be like a thought process of that. And like now, like like Cash was calling me. I think he called me like 5 or 6 times in like 30 minutes trying to figure out something. And somebody said something to me and was like, how great is it? How does that feel to be needed and be loved that much that they call you for even just how to bake a potato in the oven? You know what I mean? Like, I've really come to really appreciate those phone calls and not being frustrated every time they're calling me for even, hey, how do you get this out? Or how does this work? Or how do I do this? Like, especially like Chloe, but also too, like, how the hell did I do it without a mom? Or without parents? Because like Chloe's 20 and she still can't even make a doctor's appointment without like, mom, can you make a doctor's appointment? Or mom, can you like, I'll be like, can you order a pizza? You know, I'm busy. And she's like, she looks at me like, you want me to do what? You want me to order the pizza? I have to talk to them? Like, so I love that they still need me for everything and that they'll continue to need me for everything. I am a little bit psycho as a mom though too. Like I did tell Chloe and Ryan both, I set them down and I was like, look, okay, we're getting into this transition of there might be a grandbaby that comes along over the next like year or so, maybe 2, which I would absolutely love because like I'm young. And so like me as a grandma right now would be like so much fun. But so like I sat them both down and I was like, we're going to have a very serious conversation. And they both thought they were in trouble. And I was like, look, I'm just going to let you know when it comes time for y'all to have children, I have to see this child every single day. You are not allowed to not live in the same town as me. You have to answer every single phone call. You have to answer every single FaceTime. And this child will spend weekends with me. Like I was literally like laying it out on the line for them. And she's like, okay, mom, I get it. Like, I get it. But I'm also in this like different position in life because I worked so much when they were young and now I work for myself. And so like I do get a little more free time than what I did before. And so like, of course, like I have to be in my grandbaby's life every day. So I'm a little psycho as a mom too. So
Well, Lance and we're kind of blessed. Our kids are older. His are a little bit older than mine, but they're out of the house. And so about 4.5 years ago, we got a new baby into the family and his name is Josh. And we're so blessed.
They also get super bummed when I don't pick up every phone call and when I'm not available on weekends. Like the past 1,200 weekends in a row of traveling. It's great. I love them. They're my grandfathers or fathers. Yeah.
I love that. Yeah. I love babies. I have baby fever, but I'm too old to start over. Like, so now it's like grandbaby time, you know, and
Perfect.
My friends are like, I started very early. And so my friends are just now like starting to have kids and like all of that kind of stuff. So I really get to be like the cool auntie and like that kind of stuff. So I love babies. I love kids. I love the honesty that they have. I love the wildness. I love the feralness. I love how, they could be assholes and then just turn around and just love the shit out of you. I love all of the things that come with having kids. So.
Yeah, and I've told both my kids with their kids when they're having moments like, oh, such a pain in the butt. And this and that, I always say, you're never going to get 1 second of that time back. So enjoy it. You're all young enough, my kids, just like Laura and I were, where we're still young and we can enjoy the grandkids. We hang out with our kids like friends. You can't get time back. Enjoy every minute.
I've always been the mom too that was like if the kids wanted to sleep with me, oh, come on, baby. I don't care how old you are, sleep with mom. Like I've always been like, oh, do you want me to still cut the crust off your sandwich? You know what I mean? Like I don't care how old they get, like you're still gonna do the dishes and I'm still gonna cut the crust off. You can still sleep with me. Like, I can't even go to the restroom still. They're older and I still can't even go to the restroom in peace. You know what I mean? It's something that like I'll never, ever, ever take that stuff for granted. I love that. I love that love and that camaraderie I have with the kids,
Well, and you're not seeing we're coming up on the hour, over the hour, but you're not seeing some of the comments. You're seeing stuff that maybe Josh will put up, but I know just by your discussion with us today, I know there's people on here that are listening and have commented what a great soul you are, and thank you for sharing. And I know that it's coming from a place from some of the folks that I'm seeing the comments from of their own self-help that they've gone through and what they've worked through. And so to all of you, especially to you, for opening up your soul, because you didn't have to. And that's what I was driving at earlier, is it's kind of like that person that just finally said, I'm going to give back in a different way, and here's how I'm going to give back. And so we were talking earlier today as well, like if we help one person, we've helped, that's worth it. And I know that people on this channel that are listening and watching right now, that are live making comments, you're helping. And I know when people hear this on Spotify and Apple Music, all these other platforms, you're helping. So thank you for giving the help there. We truly appreciate that. It's much. We have veterans that have PTSD. We have everyone that has mental health challenges. And just by hearing positive affirmation and stories, it helps people kind of work through that.
Well, and I've said this before. Like I don't want, when I leave this earth, like, it's very important to me that, like, it's not just about the tragic story of my life, it's very important to me that, like, everything after that makes that very small, very, very minimal. And you see all these great things, and you see all these amazing, like, things that I've created, and just given to the world. Because it's important also too that I leave a physical form of me somehow behind, because the internet is just the internet. Like, so leaving something physical behind is very important, but also, like, leaving that legacy of not having this tragic story of Rae Ripple. It's like all of these bigger things, you see all these bigger things first, and then you're like, oh wait, what is attached to it? I didn't even know. Like, I want that to feel this big compared to this other stuff. And then it, like, I've said this before too, it makes that feel like it wasn't in vain, and right now I spent a lot of my life feeling like all of those things happened in vain. And if I can turn that into something else of love, it becomes love, and I'm in control of the outcome at that point. And those people are not in control of that outcome anymore. And it's done in love instead of in vain. And now I get to leave it in love instead of leaving it in, this dark space for somebody else to clean up,
No, so true. And, you talked about the knock on the door last time you were on the show. And I mean, that's not that long ago, but you're able to kind of compartmentalize and get through and leave this legacy. No one's saying anything about leaving yet, because none of us want to leave yet. Right. But
yeah.
But
I'm
I
gonna
think
live forever, so y'all don't worry. I'm gonna be around. Like, y'all gonna see me like 200 years old. You're like, that bitch is still alive. Like, that's what I want. So don't worry.
why are you standing up on your motorcycle? That's what I want to know.
And I really just genuinely enjoy, like, cutting up rare vintage cars and, like, doing stuff that, like, people are just like shake their finger at. Like, I love doing stuff like that. So I'm here for more of those moments. So don't worry.
Well, anyone that cuts up a 72 Mach 1, they're in my camp for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I'm good with tools. So, like, if the world ever ends, just know I can fabricate some shit.
We're coming to Tennessee.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
You can't talk about certain things, but you've got a lot going on in the next upcoming year, right? A lot
Yes.
of good things for Ray.
You think you're busy now, you're going to be really busy, right?
And the short is called Ripple, right? Is it still going through the circuit before people can see it, or what's kind of the
So
ripple effect?
I know I hear that a lot, which is so funny. I don't feel like I am at all, but it's gonna run the circuit for a little while. It's sitting in some really cool festivals right now that are Academy nominated festivals, which I'm really proud of. I'm very proud of the guys and what they created. So like, even though this film is about me and my life, it's really about these guys and their craft and their art and what they've created. And so like, I'm very proud to just be the subject of this film, but the fact that their work is getting recognized is like, I love seeing them succeed and what they're doing and what they love. And like, this film for Michael was a really big deal because like, this is his first film. And the fact that it's like making waves already, I'm here for them and like what they're creating and what they're doing with it. And so just honored to be the subject of the film. But like I really do. I don't want to say hope because hope is not the right word, because your hope should be in God and not in things that you're doing. And so like, I really want this to be big for them, not for like the next step in my career or whatever, but just because they deserve for people to see their work and their art. And so with it sitting in these Academy nominated festivals and like where it's going and the waves that it's making, I couldn't be more proud for them. So super excited about that. So like, after it's done doing its thing, we don't really know what's going to happen with it. So like, it could be something that leads to a feature. It could be something that leads to a show. It could be something that is just, I take it with me to schools, and talk to kids in colleges and businesses, and I show the film and we talk about, life and very real things that are going on in life. And so either anywhere it goes is a win, for everybody. And so like, but it's got to run this circuit so that way these guys people can see their art. And so it'll run that for a little while and then it'll be available for the public unless something crazy happens with it, which we don't really know. But you can see it in different blocks of like festivals. So if you stay tuned on my profile, in my bio or on my website, we do offer like showings like within these festivals, and we'll give you the dates and times where you can actually go online and watch it. So there is like moments, like there's a festival coming up, 2 more coming up, and so I'll post links for those and you can go in. Now I do think it costs money. I think it's like $10 or something like that. It does not go to me.
Well worth it.
Yeah, it doesn't go to me. It goes to the festival. It goes to, what they are doing and things like that. So this is not an advertisement to go buy it because I am getting money or anything. It's all goes to the festival, all goes to everybody else. So if you stay tuned, I'll post that on socials and stuff, and you'll see it on socials.
Well, watching it, we were really busy and Galen had it on and I was like, well, I'm going to go. And he's like, no, watch it. And so I stayed there and watched it. And then I couldn't leave it. But you just said something was very interesting. He said, why are you standing up on your motorcycle? And I've said that to myself. I'm like, I'm going to text her right now and go, would you stop doing that? But watching your short, I know why you do it now. It's something that gives you this great feeling, and it's worth everything that you've been through. So you know what? Keep doing it.
Yeah, the feeling, chasing. I've spent a lot of my life in survival mode, and when you spend a lot of your life in survival mode, you don't really know how to live, and you don't know what it means to be alive and feel alive and be alive and live, and so it's funny. I started standing on my bike because I crashed like hard just riding, you know? And so standing on it gives me that feeling of like what it really truly means to be alive and to let go, you know, and but to live because I'm living in that moment right then. And so like to feel alive for a second with no thoughts, you know, is like it doesn't get any freer than that. And if that's the way that I go, like shit, oh man, I went the freest way I could ever go in my entire life. So like it's never been about, I think it started out as a death wish, and then standing on the bike has really taught me what it means to be alive and what it is to live. And so yeah, the doing that is that feeling. And I'm sure anybody who stunt rides and wheelies and like hauls ass and like races, it's the same feeling of just like what it is to just be alive in that moment and how vulnerable that moment can be, but also like how alive you are in that moment. And
Well, I learned that from watching your short. What about you?
well, thank you. So
We need you to stop standing up and riding.
I knew it was coming at some point, but
No,
Just
keep
put a
doing
knee
it.
on the seat. I don't know.
Keep
Do
doing
something
it.
a little.
It's the freedom.
you know what's funny is like
You're gonna be a grandma. You gotta stop this
No.
shit.
listen, even as a grandma, I'm still gonna do it. So I started, you know, I was like, I'm really kind of exploring my area and riding a motorcycle and like getting out and you know, that kind of stuff. Like now that I'm like in a place where I can finally start riding motorcycles. And so like there's this the most beautiful road behind my house over here. But I live literally in the Bible Belt. So all these people, and then there's just me with tattoos and motorcycles and like all of this like stuff. Like my church, like there's a church, my church owns this road, you know, and so like all of my neighbors are like 2 days older than Jesus, you know, and so like one day I was coming back from one of the waterfalls because we live near like all these incredible waterfalls. And so I'll ride, it's like 10 minutes to a motorcycle or to a waterfall and like dip in and then ride back home. And so like one day on this road, like every time I ride this road, I'm like, you know, one day I'm going to just stand on this. I hadn't had a chance to practice, had nothing because I've been, you know, in the move and just like work and things like that. And so like one day I was just like, you know what, fuck it, full send. And I just stood on the bike going down this road and like people were outside mowing their yards and like just like all that kind of stuff. And they were like, what the hell is this chick doing? And like there was an old lady that was like, no. It was so funny. But I live for those moments too. I like
Right.
that, you know, so
Well, we just absolutely have fallen in love with you, and we cherish your friendship and your family attitude, and we cherish you as a person, and healing people is we talked about this earlier today, how the impact that we all have on individuals and how we choose to use that. And this platform has allowed us to really get deeper into family rooted stories, cancer victims, death, father son writing, mother daughter writing, that just the whole different gambit. And so we're so glad that we found you a couple of years ago, and we found each other, and we really appreciate you taking the time, you know.
yeah, I know. Me too. I know. I'm like, it's just like we know, I know. And, you know, I think I'm surrounded by so many great men in this industry, and y'all are prime examples of how great y'all, you know, men are in the industry. Are like dads to me, you know. So I know.
Love it. Love it.
When are we going to see you again? What's your next?
I'm getting ready for Fab Tech right now, which is like the Super Bowl for welders. I'm taking the Mustang. They're showcasing the Mustang, which I'm pretty excited about. They're building the whole booth around. Hypertherm is building the whole booth around the Mustang, and anybody that's in the welding world that goes to Fab Tech, I'm actually cutting the last panel on it live for everybody to watch, which I'm a little nervous about. I kind of sometimes I'm like, I do this so freehand. If I like fuck it up in front of everybody,
You got it.
You'll be great.
You'll fix it right in the moment.
But, yeah, so like that's next, and so getting ready for that, and of course the one that I signed the NDA for is coming up too, and that'll all unfold, as we go. So.
It would be great if the NDA thing brings you out to California some way.
It might. So
It might.
If you are here, you better stop by here. We're going to be really mad.
Don't worry. I'm going to, because it might. I don't know yet. It's still like one of those things that's like.
We'll keep positive vibes.
Yeah, I'm gonna make everybody proud.
Well, thank you for taking the call on short notice and jumping on here with us. We're actually going to go down. We're leaving tomorrow afternoon to do a military appreciation day down at Josie's Hideout.
Yeah,
it's a cool little spot down in just outside of San Diego, and we're going to go support those who support our country.
I love that. I love the veterans. Those are also my people, because the fire department.
Hell yeah.
You work in that.
We had a guy's comment about he was a first responder as well and he saw you on the Netflix show. I don't know which one it is, but he loved that series. We've had a couple guys give us some beer money. We've got what's the Jim 999 one?
I was going to say, yeah.
Did he buy the
quick
book?
Little beer shout out? Thank you, Chris Lopez and Jim, for the beer money.
Oh, I thought he was buying the book or something. So we've got all her links in the bio. So she's got a crazy nice Instagram page that you can look at. She's also got a book that she's written, another one coming in a year or so. But I mean, just what a wonderful lady and a great mom and a great friend.
Same to both of y'all. All three of y'all. Josh, you too. I can't see you, but I know you. I see you too.
There he is.
I'm here. Yep. Cool.
All
well,
right.
Yeah. We'll get you back on in like 2 minutes. We're gonna exit out of here.
Ray.
Yeah.
We'll be right back.
Oh,
we did that last
My
time.
bad. Didn't mean to do that. Thank you guys all for tuning in. This week we just dropped the Highway 16A sunset ride, this and that. Next week we have like our final day in Sturgis, and then after that it's 4 days of riding from Deadwood, South Dakota back to here. There's rain, there's breakdowns, there's all kinds of good stuff and good times, and then off to the Durango series, boys.
So subscribe to the YouTube channel. Tell your friends to do that.
I left you a note for that, Galen. He actually commented at the beginning of this live. He came yesterday. He rode from 2 hours away. He just worked 14 days straight fighting the California wildfires.
We talked to him.
Yeah,
He's
we
back.
talked to him yesterday.
So that was him.
Thank you, Alex.
Thank you, man. We
appreciate that. It's going on the wall right now.
So what?
Subscribe to our YouTube channel. I'm really getting you kind of upset with everyone out there, not telling people to subscribe and watch. I mean,
you want to know why I'm getting upset? Because I turn your mic up and then you scoot all over. No one can hear you, man.
You know what to do.
Yeah, yelling again.
That's good.
What a great show. Love you, Ray.
Well, no better guest. I mean, I love her passion. Her history is something that most people won't understand, but what she's forged through to get through that and to watch her build things and I mean, she's yay big,
very talented,
and she's doing all this. Just such an awesome person. So want to thank her for that.
Yeah.
And hey, we have dinner plans.
See you down the road.
Boom.